Good afternoon, everybody. This is Steve Fletcher with a trumpet for my people. Today's June 9th, 2022, and I want to share some more information with you guys about the Mayan calendar and the 9/11 end date of June 12th, 2022. I began sharing some information yesterday, but I want to give some explanation of how the Mayan calendar works and how we have come to this day on June 12th, 2022, just so you can understand the very possible significance of all of this. Okay, here is the Mayan calendar on December 21st of 2012, and the reason why they were saying that this was the end of the world based on the Mayan calendar, we came to a long count date of 13.0000. And how does the Mayan calendar work, and how is this calculated? The first measurement of time is Baktun, and there were 13 Baktun. Baktun equals 144,000 days. So 13 Baktun times 144,000 is 1,872,000 days. This was basically from the beginning of the world, according to the Mayans. This was 13 Baktun, and it was exactly on this day that everyone was talking about the end of the world. The other measurements within the Mayan calendar is a Katun is 7,200 days. A Tun, basically a year, is 360 days. Uinal, basically a month, is 20 days. And a Kin is 1 day. So on the long count date, December 21st, 2012, we had 13 Baktun, 0 Katun, 0 Tun, 0 Uinal, and 0 Kin. So it was a perfect, they came to a marker in time. You know, this was like the Y2K of the Mayans. This is what, just as there was a big talk about the end of the world, Y2K, the year 2000, and the big switch over to the zeros. And then after Y2K, we had 9/11, September 11th of 2001. Then we had the Mayan end of the world date on December 21st, 2012. And now we're coming up to another 9/11. But now, instead of it being on the Gregorian calendar, it's going to be on the Mayan calendar. So just as you consider the Mayan calendar and how it works, now let's look at June 12th, 2022, and see how we come to 9/11. Okay, here is the Mayan long count date for June 12th, 2022. It's 1309.11.0. What has changed since 12/21/12? How did we come to 9/11? Okay, so 13 has not changed, because that will not go to 14 until they come through another 144,000 days. So it remains at 13. That has not changed, 13 Baktun. Then we have come to Katun, and that hasn't changed either, because we haven't gone through 7,200 days. So that remains at 0, 13 Baktun, 0 Katun, those two remain the same. Now what has changed is the Tun, basically 9 years. If we consider carefully from December of 2021 to June 2022. We've gone past 9 years. Even though on the Mayan calendar, tune it equals 360 days. So we have 9 tune of 360 days for a total of 3,240 days. And then we have Uinal is a total of 20 days per Uinal, and there have been 11 total Uinal, 220 days. So we have what has been added then exactly is 9 tune and 11 Uinal. Okay, so we see that the difference now is a total of, on the Mayan calendar, 9 tune and 11 Uinal. 9 tune equals 3,240 days, which is 9 times 360. And 11 Uinal is 11 times 20 days, or 220 days, for a total of 3,460 days. Okay, now I just wanted to confirm to you, based on time and date calculator, from December 21st, 2012 to Sunday, June 12th, 2022 is 3,460 days. Okay, so we have this very interesting piece of information that on June 12th, 2012, on the Mayan calendar, it is 13/9/11. Now I just wanted to share a few pieces of information with you as we're talking about the Mayan calendar and the Mayan end of the world date. And for some reason that only God knows, from the very beginning of my ministry and time as a missionary, the Lord called me to Yucatan, Mexico, where I have been since 1991. I was married here in 1995. And so for some reason, the Lord has called me and has called our ministry, A Bridge of Love Home, to Yucatan, Mexico. And here we are. So as we're looking at this, I had never considered exactly where we are in relationship to, let's just say, the most important Mayan sites in Yucatan. We do have a map here. I can show you a map of the entire Yucatan. Here's a map of the entire Yucatan Peninsula and all of the Mayan sites that are here in yellow. But I wanted to focus on my specific area and the main sites that are right around where we are located in Zan, Yucatan. So I had never noticed this before, but if you go from the main site of Chichen Itza, which in all of the Mayan world, Chichen Itza is the number one Mayan site. There are other sites down in on the east coast of the Yucatan Peninsula, Tulum. We've got sites down in Belize and in Guatemala. There's sites down in Chiapas. But the main site of all of the sites of the Mayan ruins is Chichen Itza. And then the second most important site in the Yucatan Peninsula and in the state of Yucatan is Uxmal. And I have those two circled. And then I have a star where we're located in San, Yucatan, right next to Tikul, for those who have been here. We have had many people here visiting over the years, more than 500 visitors, more than 40 missionary teams that have come to our location. And it's been an amazing ride, amazing blessing, amazing ministry that we've had over so many years, and just thankful to God for all of the people that have participated in this work. But we're in San, Yucatan, and we're right in the middle. I mean, not exactly in the middle, but if you draw a straight line from Chichen Itza to Uxmal, we're exactly on the line from Chichen Itza to Uxmal. So I just wanted to share that with you. So Chichen Itza is the first Mayan ruin site of all the Mayans, especially of Yucatan. Uxmal is the second main Yucatan Mayan ruin site. Tzan is the town where I live. This is my wife's natal village. I had never looked this up, but we are on the exact straight line between the two main Mayan sites of Yucatan and Chichen Itza and Uxmal, Yucatan. So to give you some perspective on how important these sites are, Chichen Itza on the spring equinox every year, people gather there to see the descending of the snake, the shadow that is cast on the side of the stairwell that is going up. The side of the pyramid creates the shadow of a snake. This only happens on the spring equinox. The way they were intelligent enough and understanding enough of astrology and astronomy and of the cosmos to be able to create this pyramid exactly in this way, exactly for only one day of the year that this would happen. This is just an amazing feat. People from all over the world come to Yucatan for the spring equinox. And then this site on the left here is the ruin site, the pyramid at Uxmal, another great archaeological wonder here in Yucatan, Mexico. And even the palace that was built, looking up into the pyramid and the way the everything is formed, they knew what they were doing as far as archaeology goes, as far as astronomy goes, as far as designing everything in relation to the cosmos. I mean, they were amazing in all of this, and this is part of the reason I think that there's a lot of thought put into the fact that maybe the Mayans even understood the end of the world and the Mayan calendar having some type of relationship with the end of the world. Well, anyway, I wanted to share with you guys my up here, as I said, that in between Chichen Itza and Uxmal, Tzan, Yucatan is right in the middle. And so this is the main square up on top. You've got the church. This is the main square of the town of Tzan itself. And then I've got two shots here of our land taken from Google Earth. And you can see we have a pretty large property. It's actually about 20 acres. We have on the top right, we've got a garden area with a gazebo in the middle, walking paths around. You see the big X there. That's a garden area. We have in the middle a big concrete area. That's a ball court we have there. Coming down towards the bottom, we've got our dorms and our dining hall and our offices and our kitchen. And then behind the kitchen and behind the dining hall, we've got a pool. You see the blue there. We've got a pool there, and we've got an orchard. Okay, we've got an orchard and fruit production and everything else. And then on the right-hand side is another photo, basically of all of the property. So the one is kind of a close-up, and then the other one is a picture of the whole property. So the Lord has put us right here in Yucatan. We've been here. I've been here for more than 30 years now, and this is the main center of our operation, of our ministry, of our orphanage. For some reason, the Lord has brought me down to be right here in Yucatan, Mexico, right in the heart of the Mayan region. Now, the other thing that is very interesting about the Mayan 9/11 landing on June 11th, June 12th, basically the day of Pentecost, if we do the true count from Passover, which landed on Saturday, then you have to wait another week to begin the count, and that was the difference between June 4th, June 5th, and really what should be Pentecost on June 11th and June 12th, because the count was started wrong. Okay, and so basically we're watching right now June 11th and June 12th as Pentecost. Then you have this whole coincidence of June 11th being Sivan is the third Hebrew month. That's 311. We've got June is the sixth Gregorian month. That's 611. Sivan sounds like 7, and you've got then Sivan 11, 711. Okay, and then you've got Sivan is the ninth month on the Hebrew calendar, and that's also 911. Okay, from 9/11 2001, it's been 20 years and 9 months to the day, and 20 conveys a perfect waiting period, while 9 is a perfect birth process. You have 20 years of waiting and 9-month birth process, bringing us to June 11th, 2022. We know that 3/11 was the pandemic day. It was also the tsunami day of Japan. Jerusalem was liberated on June 11th. Trump changed 9/11 to 7/11. So we've got our 9/11 to 7/11 connection, Sivan 11. And then we know that on 9/11, the towers fell, and both of the Hebrew temples fell on a date that coincides with a numerical pattern of 9/11. Hebrew 9/11 was the fall of the two temples. Above and beyond all of this, this is our 1-year warning from the sign of Jonah. Last year, June 10th, the solar eclipse, and the very next day, a man was swallowed by a whale and lived to share the story. He survived being in the mouth of a whale. He was spit out of the whale. This is a sign of Jonah. Jesus said, "There will be no other sign given to a wicked generation except the sign of Jonah." Here we have exactly 1 year to the day. And also on this day, Noah's Ark was detained in Great Britain. Okay, so we have 3 biblical signs that happened 1 year ago, June 10th and June 11th, between the total solar eclipse, the Ark of Noah being detained, and a man being swallowed by a whale. And this is the other connection we're making to June 11th and June 12th of 2022. So this is the information I'm sharing with you. We have this unbelievable connection to the Mayan calendar, that June 12th is the Mayan 9/11. Okay, so I just wanted to put this together in another video and make sure you can all understand how this works, how they come to this day, and how it all connects to everything else we're watching in the timing of Pentecost. I pray you guys are blessed. This is Steve Fletcher with a trumpet for my people, the sign of his coming revealed.